And for more on this story, let's cross to Toulouse, world headquarters for Boeing's rival Airbus. Correspondent Chris Bockman joins us from the southwestern French city. Chris, what are the reactions where you are to the grounding or the banning of Boeing 737 MAX 8s from airspace across Europe?
Indeed, Francois. In fact, I've been talking to Airbus all afternoon. First of all, one thing which is remarkable is that there is no airline in France with the Boeing 737 MAX, none, and yet France is banning it from its airspace, which is quite a remarkable situation. I have to say that Airbus, they're not trying to make any gains from this politically or capital from it. They're saying that across the industry, safety is the number one issue across the whole industry, whoever it is, whoever the competition is. And at the moment, they want to know how this investigation is going and let the investigation take place with the Ethiopian authorities, since it happened in Ethiopia, and with the manufacturer of the aircraft. I should also point out that dozens of suppliers who work on Airbus also work on Boeing's aircraft. There are many very big suppliers in this region who help manufacture aircraft for both Boeing and Airbus. It's kind of normal in this situation. And so if there is some sort of technical issue with that Boeing, it will, of course, have an impact on French and European aircraft suppliers as well. So, it's not just a question of one's on the other side of the Atlantic from the other. On the other issue, which I should point out, is that, I don't know if you remember a few years ago, the 787 was the Dreamliner from Boeing, and they had problems with the lithium batteries. Some fires broke out on that. And at the time, I remember Airbus holding a big press conference and really coming to Boeing's defense, saying Boeing has to worry about safety as much as everybody else, and they'll get around the issue and around the hurdle, and they did. So at the moment, Airbus is not trying to profit from this. I should also point out that Airbus was the first to come up with this. The rival is the 320 Neo, the new engine option. And quickly after that, Boeing came in with the MAX. At the moment, Airbus really dominates that market for that single-aisle aircraft, with about 65% of the market compared to Boeing's.
Bloomberg News Agency reporting, Chris, that Lion Air from Indonesia is planning to drop a $22 billion order for 737 MAX and switch to Airbus's A320neo. Again, this is just in this. This is just with one source, so I don't know. This is not confirmed yet, but obviously the commercial stakes are huge here.
The commercial stakes are huge. These orders, I said, it's the most popular aircraft for Airbus. It's the most popular aircraft for Boeing, the single-aisle market. Everybody wants to get into that market. The queue to buy one of these planes is huge. And I'm a bit skeptical of that report. First of all, you can't just cancel an order like that. They've paid a huge down payment for those 737s to begin with. And if they cancel an order, they have to pay a cancellation fee as well. There's a lot of legal issues involved in this. And of course, Lion Air, this came out before a report coming out on Ethiopia. This is way jumping the gun, I think. I think we'll have to really calm down on that report. But there's no question. It's a huge industry. It's a huge market. We're talking tens of billions of dollars involved in the 737 and the A320 competition. And so I have to say, Airbus's share price has gone up by about 2% today. Now, obviously, that's because people now are looking at that Airbus could maybe gain future markets as a result of this. But I wouldn't go too much into about cancellation of Boeing orders for the time being.
And Chris, what are the reactions to that tweet by Donald Trump, where he does put the finger on something that a lot of people are thinking about, which is there too much technology, too much automation in our planes nowadays? And this might be an example of cases where perhaps, and we don't have the final word yet, where the pilots are unable to override the computer.
I don't want to go too much into what Donald Trump is saying. I'm not sure that he has much aviation experience apart from owning his own Boeing. But apart from that, there's no question that there's much more automation on planes, just like there are on trains, just like on the metro system, just like with drones now doing warfare without humans. There's no question that the humans on a flight, I think they say that about 92% of a flight, say between where I am in Toulouse and Paris, will be done by the plane itself as opposed to by the pilots. That's a lot of percentage, I have to admit. But there is also the argument that's made that most of the accidents, just like on cars, is done by humans. It's not done by the machines itself.
Not done by the machines itself. In this case, though, those two accidents within 6 months, raising a lot of questions.
No question, Francois. But the other question is, did the pilots have the training that they needed to do that? So that again, or did they make a mistake themselves, or did they not, or did they skip something that they should have done in their own training as well? Do they not look at the manuals? So we're really looking into speculation here. There's no question that this investigation will be pretty rapid because, of course, those two boxes have been found very quickly, just like with that German wings accident with that suicide pilot about 3 or 4 years ago. When they found those boxes very quickly, they managed to get the results of what happened there very, very quickly. And since we have a small debris site, we have the two boxes, one with data, one with voice recordings, I think we'll have a pretty good idea on what's been happening over in Ethiopia on that tragic day just over this weekend very quickly.
All right, and the latest on this story, just to complete what Chris Bockman was saying, the European Union's aviation safety agency suspending all flights in the bloc by Boeing 737-8 and 737-9 airplanes following the air disaster in Ethiopia. Chris Bockman in Toulouse, many thanks for that update.